did candy and Easter eggs come from?
Where did candy and Easter eggs come from?
Hey guys, it's Daddy Willie Chaps, and I'm Jim Mayfield, and this is
Daddy Mayfield.
And this podcast is about where it
Starts at home. You dig?
Thank you for tuning in, guys.
Thank y'all, for real.
So, how was your week?
My week was great. Busy with baby girl Melody, but everything is going good. How was your week?
It was fun because I got to see Mario Bros. Or the Bros something.
That's a classic. I don't know if y'all saw Mario Brothers, but man, I used to play that back on my Super Nintendo. You liked it? That's dope. I need to see it. Have a daddy time, you know what I'm saying? A daddy time. All right, don't give up the story, please. Please don't ruin it for me. I want to see it. Thank you. Anyway, go ahead.
So thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Today we are talking about
What we talking today? What we talking about?
Easter.
Okay. I like this topic. It's appropriate. You know, it's the weekend, Sunday, church closed, I'm talking about. Okay. I see.
Look, I put an egg inside of an egg.
Okay. Sweet. So what's your question for me, G? This is your topic?
Where did candy and Easter eggs come from?
Where did candy and Easter eggs come from? Whew, I wish I knew. Say no. I know a little bit about something. So here, let me get this egg for you. Lay all over the place. Put them all back in the bag. Yeah, man, this is a hot topic. Because there's a lot of churches and just people that celebrate Easter, right? Like they'll have Easter egg hunts. They have a bunch of candy for the kids. So I'm like, okay, I think I like to see the root of everything. I like to see the origin of where it came from. And so we did some little history, right? We did some digging. So this is what I found about Easter, okay? Hopefully I can give it to you in kid size bites so you can kind of follow along, right? Okay, so where all this stuff came from. This is what I heard reading. Okay, the word Easter came from a pagan god called Esther or Easter, right? She was the goddess of the east where the sun rises.
Is Esther who had like the brother? Who had that cousin?
No, this is a different Esther. But yeah, so she was a pagan goddess. Her symbol was a hare to symbolize fertility. So a hare is like a rabbit. So that was her symbol to like represent like birth and babies and I guess fertility. But it looks like this narrative came out written about around 1835. That's a time frame, 1835. Like we're in 2023. 1835 was a time frame, and it seems like nothing was written before that time. So there's really a lack of evidence that this even came. There was a goddess, there was an altar, there was anything about the goddess Esther, anything like that. So I think we Americans just commercialized it and made it into this big thing of like bunnies and rabbits and candy and fun, and now where we go, a lot of churches embrace it too. So now people just bring it, have it, they use it to get kids to come to church so they could talk about the main thing. What were you gonna say?
So, since bunnies are like the symbols, bunnies lay eggs?
That's the thing. They do not lay eggs.
And maybe they just wanted to add eggs just because they don't lay eggs because they want to get people entertained.
That's a good point, because I just thought about it, like eggs. Like, where'd that come into part? Because like bird lay eggs, snake lay eggs, turtle lay eggs, not bunnies. That's a good point. That egg thing that's a whole different thing. That's a good point, G. You smart. You smart. So yeah, this is
entertain people.
Absolutely.
So they added that. So they can add that and decorate eggs to think that
will attract people to come.
That they think that bunnies lay special eggs.
That's crazy. That's a good. I didn't even think about that point. See, you should be doing this by yourself. You don't even need me. But yeah, so I think that's the origin of it. Like I said, there's a lack of evidence about it. But however, a lot of people that's in church, we call it Resurrection Day because that's where we believe as believers of Jesus. That's where Jesus resurrected. He resurrected, and in 3 days he rose again. And so we don't really call it Easter. Do I have a problem with people calling it Easter? Do I have a problem with people even celebrating having Easter egg hunts and candy? No, I don't think it's inherently wrong. I think it's an innocent thing. There's really no proof of where this whole goddess of Easter came from. And I think it's all about the heart. If churches have these Easter egg hunts, I think it's okay for y'all to attend and get the candy and, get engaged. But as long as they make the main thing, that Jesus rose from the grave, I think that's what matters to me. And I think a lot of stuff that we deal with, like, that's secularized. I mean, everybody use it and can redeem it, you know what I mean, or just use it. Like, people, the secular culture, I believe, made cars, and now everybody uses cars. Cars are not a bad idea if it was used for a secular purpose, but I think, it's all about what you're using it for, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think there's nothing wrong with candy, nothing wrong with the Easter bunny, even though that's not the main point of it. But if there's churches that use that and have that, I don't think that's a bad thing. But so yeah, that's the origin. That's where it came from. And
they might, if people go on Easter egg hunts, they can put a little learning in it, and you got to read the scripture.
See, yes, I said.
And
that's
then
good.
If you remember it, you get candy to put in the egg and save it.
So that's at a church that happened at one point?
Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, people could use these methods to get people to bring them in because that's what they're used to. Like, if you're not from church, you know what I mean, or born in, if you didn't go to church and not born and raised, you're used to Easter egg hunts, things like that. So they use these things to bring people in. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think if you're celebrating Easter, you're bowing down to some bunny or some goddess. Like, nah. I think there was a narrative that might have existed, but I think people could redeem it. And it's all about, what you're making the main thing. It's all about your convictions. I'm leaving out with this one script. This comes from 1 Corinthians 15, 13. It says, "For if there is no resurrection of the dead, then Christ has not been raised either. And if Christ has not been raised, then all of our preaching is useless. Our faith is useless, and we will be lying about God." So pretty much, if Christ did not resurrect, being Christians doing this whole thing is no point. There's no point. But we have huge amounts of evidence that Jesus walked the earth and he existed, and there's mad evidence. If you look far enough, there is, even before the goddess of Easter, if that was even true. So that's my take on that, man. I hope y'all enjoy something, or hope y'all learn something today
Dad.
about Easter. Did you learn?
Yes.
You got something in your eye. What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna end that with the joke.
Okay. So that's the camera over there. What's the joke?
Okay, what do you call an alligator that wants to be
Bad.
a detective?
A crocodile.
No, an investigator.
Ooh-wee. Dad jokes to the fullest. An investigator. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Easter episode. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thanks for subscribing and liking. We'll keep on being consistent and bringing y'all more content. Let us know what y'all want to see, what y'all want us to talk about. Man, give us your thoughts. It's all about what y'all want to hear and what y'all want to see. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. We'll see y'all later. We'll see you next week. Peace.